Street Fighter 6 features 3 overarching game modes: Fighting Ground, World Tour, and Battle Hub. Fighting Ground contains local and online versus battles, as well as training and arcade modes, all featuring similar 2D fighting gameplay to the previous games in the series, in which two fighters use a variety of attacks and special abilities to knock out their opponent. World Tour is a single-player story mode featuring a customizable player avatar exploring 3D environments, such as Final Fight's Metro City and the small, fictional South Asian nation of Naishal, with action-adventure gameplay. Battle Hub acts as an online lobby mode, using customizable player avatars from the World Tour mode. The first fighting game to implement similar online features was Tecmo's Dead or Alive 4, Soul Calibur 6, following the tradition of prior installments of the Soul Calibur series. Soul Calibur 6's gameplay involves two weapons-wielding combatants battling against one another using a 3D system. The game kept many of the familiar gameplay elements, including 8-way run, guard impact, and character creation, but adds to the traditional formula by introducing new mechanics such as Reversal Edge and the newly revamped Soul Charge. The Reversal Edge allows players to defend against an oncoming attack and quickly strike back, alongside a slow motion effect, enabling more defensive options for the players. Tekken 7, a critical move unique to each character, and only accessible while in rage mode, causing it to deactivate until the next round. If the initial attack hits the opponent, it will trigger a cinematic sequence and deal roughly 30% damage, depending on the character. Performs an attack that can absorb an opponent's hits with a mid or high property and continue attacking. This largely replaces the ground bound, formerly simply as bound, mechanic, which added significant opportunity to perform long, high-damage combos by knocking an opponent hit with a launcher back to the ground into a vulnerable state. Screw hits have similar applications as ground-bounding moves, but the receiving opponent's animation is altered, putting them into an aerial tailspin as they fall to the ground. Unlike the ground-bound, screw hits cannot be used to do wall combos. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, like the previous 3 games in the series, including Mortal Kombat Mobile. Mortal Kombat 11 is a 2D fighting game, alongside the returning fatalities, brutalities, stage fatalities, friendships, and quatalities. New gameplay features are introduced, such as Fatal Blows and Crushing Blows. Fatal Blows are special moves similar to the X-Ray moves in the 2011 reboot and Mortal Kombat X. Like X-Ray moves, Fatal Blows deal a large amount of damage, but unlike them, they only become available when a player's health drops below 30% and can only be performed once per match. Crushing Blows are a critical hit variation of a given special move or combination, triggered when certain requirements are met, and cause deadly effect by showing graphic body injuries and draining at most times 30% health in a single hit. New to the series is a flawless block mechanic, which allows for a comeback window after blocking an attack with precise timing. WWE 2K23, like its predecessor, WWE 2K23 features arcade and simulation wrestling gameplay. War Games is featured for the first time in a WWE 2K game, and the Royal Rumble match now supports online multiplayer with up to 8 players. Referee voiceovers have been revamped with different voices and unique lines when the pinfall occurs. Game modes such as My Faction, MYGM, Showcase, Universe, Career Mode Mirais, and a full creation suite return with new features. Showcase features cover star John Cena and allows players to recreate key moments in Cena's career, playing as his opponents, culminating in 3 dream matches. Dragon Ball FighterZ, the gameplay is inspired by concepts from several other fighting games. Namely, the control scheme and team mechanics are lifted from the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and the overall presentation is reminiscent of other Arc System Works games, with the recent one being Guilty Gear XRD. Due to this game utilizing the same video game engine that was used in Arc System Works' first 2D game, the Unreal Engine, players each select 3 characters to form a team from an initial roster of characters from the Dragon Ball franchise. One character is controlled and can be switched with one of the other characters at any time. Players can also call one of their other characters to perform an assist move, allowing simultaneous attacks and combos with the entire team. All 3 characters on the same team must be defeated for a player to win the game. If neither team has been defeated before the time runs out, the team that has sustained the least damage overall wins. Guilty Gear Strive, intended as a complete reconstruction of the franchise. Guilty Gear Strive retains the core essence of the series, but revamps many features and mechanics, except for the removal of the series' signature mechanic, the instant kill. It introduces the wall break feature, which allows for stage transitions when a combo is initiated in the corner of the arena. My Hero One's Justice 2, known in Japan as My Hero Academia, One's Justice 2, is a 2020 fighting game developed and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One, and Google Stadia. The game is a sequel to My Hero One's Justice, and based on the manga series My Hero Academia by Kohei Horikoshi. DNF dual gameplay is similar to other fighting games developed by Arc System Works, but with more simplified mechanics. Like some previous games, the game features simplified inputs to allow new players to be able to get into the game without being put off by complicated controls. One major difference in this game is the use of an MP bar that is used to activate certain attacks, called skills in the game, similar to the main series games and other RPGs. Though the bar disappears after each use of a skill, it slowly regenerates over time. Unlike the use of special meters found in other fighting games, Den's Fight in Herds, the game uses a 4-button fighting system, a button each for light, medium, heavy, and magic attacks, and includes staple fighting game maneuvers such as launchers, push blocking, and cross-ups. Currently, there are 7 playable characters, with 2 more purchasable through DLC, all of which have their own unique fighting styles and moves. These fighting styles range from fast and aggressive to slow and defensive, with all characters having a high emphasis on fighting with combos. The game supports both local and online multiplayer via both a near-isometric pixel art lobby system and an automatic matchmaking system. Players who own BlazBlue, Central Fiction, Guilty Gear XRD Rev 2, or Skullgirls on Steam will unlock special cosmetics for their in-game lobby avatars inspired by characters from those games. There are also offline single-player modes available, including an in-development story mode and player versus AI fighting.